Ladies and gentlemen, you are listening to Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. It's an engaging and enlightening talk show on life, relationships, and the business of life. Grab a cup of juice and just chill. Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen. Live life. Live fully.
It's really been worthwhile having this guest share profound insight on disruptive mind shift conversations on focusing on personal development and self-improvement. It gives me great pleasure to have Ellen Kocher and Dominique Ben-Dhaou on the show. Now, Ellen Kocher is the workplace well-being specialist, speaker, health and wellness coach, while Dominique Ben-Dhaou is a career reinventor. Welcome with me on the show today, this great superpower woman, Dominique Ben-Dhaou and Ellen Kocher.
Thank you very much.
Thanks for hosting us, Omobola. It's a pleasure.
You to tell me, Dominique Ben-Dhaou, tell me about your success story of building a very successful corporate career, then making the decision to pivot, right, and never looking back. That sounds interesting to me.
Yeah, and I have to admit, at the time, it felt right, but a lot of people, as you can imagine, told me, are you sure? Is it really what you want to do? Is it the risk that you want to take? As soon as somebody tells me, are you sure? Is it really reasonable? I would do anything to prove them wrong. So that has been a big motivator for me. And to be honest, somebody asked me recently, what would be a good sign that it's the right decision? And my response to her at the time was, if it feels uncomfortable, go for it. And that has proved to be very, the right decision several times, is to go out of your comfort zone, to trust yourself, and to try, pilot, test, make one step forward before you make the second step, and adjust as you go along. Very often we use, we're going to talk about the brain later, I'm sure, but our brain and our mindset is a big barrier to a lot of decisions that we should take and that we don't take because of fear or because of doubts or because of everybody around us that say, are you really sure? Is that reasonable at your age? And that's something that we hear often, and we love to prove people that possibilities, opportunities, successes, experiences are possible at any age, and it gets even better with age, we discovered. So aging sounds great to us.
Awesome. Now, Helen, you would like to share your own story?
Sure, my pivot. So I pivoted from the world of finance. I was an economist and a finance person working for a major consulting firm for 10 years. And I was about to become a partner in the firm. And before doing that, we actually had our family, have 3 children. And it gave me on that maternity leave, the first break I'd had in 10 years or so. And I looked at myself in the mirror, and it wasn't even all physical, Omobola. There was something that didn't align. I felt misaligned. And I said, I didn't feel the power I felt when I was working in career, etc. And I slowed down my career, and I decided to take care of myself, some personal self-care. I lost weight. I started sleeping right, eating right, taking care of my family. Working part-time was the next step when I was hired to create a weight management program for the workplace, whereas I was able to put together the lifestyle and the corporate world together. And for the last 23 years, I've inspired others to do the same, to pivot their career. And when I say look in the mirror, again, it's not what you see, it's being who you want to be.
Awesome. It's not what you see, it's what you be, being who you really want. I think that's very important. And for us to be able to answer this question, you really need to look inward, right? Because I always emphasize the need for us to ask questions. If you don't ask questions, you don't get answers. Now, you need to begin to ask questions about, some things, and the universe is always very ready to give us the answer. Right. Thank you once again, and Dominique and Dominique and Helen for sharing your story with me. Now, I'd like us to talk about 50 plus and also with our brain health. What's your take, or what expert advice will you like to share with those who are in this age bracket? Now, Ellen, I would like you to give me your insight.
Absolutely. There are certain things that we can do to keep our brains alive and awake. And there are 8 or 9 of them, and a few of them that I will highlight. Number 1 is change. And Omobola, this change, it links into the 2 questions you asked earlier. Dominique and I pivoted. Dominique talked about going out of your comfort zone. That means you're challenging your brain. Your brain is like a muscle. The more you work it out, the more limber it stays, the more irrigated it is, the more alive it is, and the more you actually avoid everything that's brain related, whether it's Alzheimer's, whether it's forgetfulness, whatever it might be with age, you can keep your brain awake. So the big things are going to be change, and it's going to be continual learning, going out of your comfort zone. Dominique, what would you add to my bits there? I know you have more to add.
Yeah, I love the topic. You know,
I know you do.
How much I do care about it. But there's sometimes the preconceived ideas that you need to go through major changes to have major impact. And we often underestimate the power of those tiny changes. And actually, our brain doesn't make any difference whether we change massively or whether we change the way we go to the office in the morning, or the way we use, if we are right-handed, the way we use our left hand to do things. So small changes have a major impact, and it doesn't have to be painful, but it's to do things differently. And beyond, Ellen, you mentioned learning new stuff, but it's also learning new people, connecting. We're, as Simon Sinek would say, we're social animals. So the more people we meet and that are different from who we are, the better to keep us alert and to keep us awake and conscious and have us learn and evolve as we age at any age. So changes and stimulation is very important, as you said, Ellen.
Right, awesome, good to know. That's very important. I think we must always learn to embrace change in life, right? Because that's the only thing that is constant, right? And so now, still talking about aging, you said in your pin line that aging is inevitable, now growing old is not. So I would like you to put this in proper perspective now to my audience. So Dominique, can you share your insight in this regard?
Sure. So there are things that we can't change. You know, the years go by, the months go by, the weeks go by, the day go by. That happens to everybody, to kids, to children, to teenagers, to us humans at any age. However, what we do with those years, what we do with those days and months do make a large difference. So it's not so much, you mentioned before, looking inside and deep inside is key. And I can't agree more with that. It's really inside out and not outside in. So it's not so much of what happens around you, but what you do with it. And that prevents you to get the grumpy old person that you don't want to become and that people don't like to see in you, but to benefit and to look within yourself at anything that you could offer to the outside world because you've taken it the right way. So it's to have a positive outlook at life, is to make the best of every day, to have gratitude at the end of the day or when you wake up in the morning, because we take it for granted that we'll wake up the following day, but we have no certainty at any age. So through gratitude and through making the best of every day, having the right impact that you wish to have on other people and inspire other, has been our compass for a few years now. But it's really that, is to make the best, whatever age you are, from within yourself, and not wait for the world to change, not wait for when I'm going to retire, during the weekend, during vacation, during my free time. We live every day, so we shouldn't wait to live only during the weekend or when we retire or when we're going to be rich and millionaires. Life happens today and every day, and it's our role to make the best out of it.
Absolutely. Going forward, Helen, at age 50 plus, what do you advise that people begin to do, right, to improve their well-being?
Oh, there are a lot of things that we can do. What we do is we look at nutrition, we look at activity, we look at sleep. So those are essentials to actually creating the baseline of health. And, you know, kind of pivoting off what Dominique just said, the difference between getting old, growing old and grumpy, and aging. I'm going to take an example that will help answer this question as well. Many women come to me, 50 plus, oh, menopause, I gained weight. It's because of menopause I gained weight. And what they haven't done, Omobola, they haven't done the pivot. They haven't gone beyond their comfort zone. Menopause, things change. We need to eat differently with age. We need to move our bodies differently. We sleep differently. These are physiological facts. If we embrace them and work with them, there is no reason, for example, to gain weight with age. There's no reason to be less strong with age. There's no reason to sleep worse with age. If somebody snores, the partner needs to get earplugs. If somebody has breathing issues, they need to manage that. They can do that through many things, through nutrition, activity, and sleep. So in fact, we actually have a downloadable that we offer people with tips on what they can do physically. But just relating it to the first questions, by being aware of your state, you can pivot. Don't, as Einstein would say, don't keep doing the same thing and expect a different result. We need to adapt and pivot as our body grows old.
Awesome. Now, Ellen, once again, I'd like to ask this question. Why is it not age 40 plus? Why is it age 50 plus that we should begin to consider financial planning?
You know, actually, financial planning, it's very, very interesting. Thank you for the question, Omobola. And I am a finance person, so it's something that I feel very dear about. Positive aging starts at age 1. Okay, positive aging starts at age 1. It's an attitude and a mindset. I believe it's never too early to start thinking about our finances and our financial well-being. We'll be very clear with you. Dominique and I are not financial advisors. We encourage people to work with their employer or financial advisors. But, and this is, you'll see here the answer to your question, why as of 50 and not as of 40? As of 50, we think it's very, very important to know your money mindset, because very often it's an age where people start thinking about maybe retirement or pivoting their youth. They're not thinking about that at 40. They're busy taking care of kids and family and things like that. But as of 50, we have a little brain space. Think about, what do you want out of those years? Some people want to be on a cruise ship. Other people want to be in a pub tent. And they're both fine, but aligning with what's important to you is very important. And the other thing that's really important as of 50, and I don't know what it's like in your region of the world, we're in Switzerland, Dominique and I are Swiss. People don't talk about money. We need to have these conversations. You don't have it with a 5-year-old child about what your financial situation is, but young adults, you do. Speaking with your parents, speaking with your peers, even having conversations about salaries. Let's open up this talk. This is very important to be able to be, you know, you talk about anything important with your friends, whether it's health and well-being, whether it's jobs. So why do we not talk about money? We think it's very important that we break that bias and we break that blockage to have these conversations to make everybody more comfortable. And honestly, as of 50 is when we think that we can do that rationally, reasonably, and we're incentivized at that point. Does that make sense?
Sure, it does. Dominique, do you have any insight to share?
Yeah, I just wanted to build on what Ellen mentioned, because I think we lived through that as well ourselves. But it's to be conscious of, your money blockage does help moving forwards, to be really conscious of what may have been on your mind for the last 30, 40, 50 years as the money principles that was dictated your life. And without that consciousness, it's very difficult to plan for the future if you haven't sorted out your past. So when it comes to financial planning, it's not only planning, but it's really digesting, understanding, and being conscious of what may have been in the way in the past, financially speaking. And that relates to the other dimensions of Wake Up, Shake Up, Thrive, because the 5 dimensions are very important to us. It's not only like physical fitness and financial well-being, but it's how you connect the soul, the intellect, the brain, the physical, all those dimensions, the emotional. Our emotions drive 90, almost 100%, 98 point something % of our decisions. So by having a view holistically at those 5 dimensions, that really makes you whole and aligned, and not like, okay, I'll deal with the physical health and wealth on Monday and intellectual on Thursday. No, you're a human being every day. And by tackling all those 5 dimensions in a holistic way, really does make a huge difference for us.
Right. Good to know. So rounding up, at age 50 plus, right? What advice would you like to share with those in this age bracket concerning their mindset? What are the key important mindsets they need to begin to integrate for success? Ellen, can you share that with my audience?
Sure, I will. In terms of mindset, I always think it's interesting to test yourself. And sort of over the next week, catch yourself, maybe put it on your phone or something, to catch yourself and see how many times you are, well, like my example earlier, oh, it's menopause, I'm gaining weight. How often do you use age as an excuse? Oh, I'm not going to do that, I'm too old for that. Either you say it yourself or somebody says it to you. The reason I'd like to raise that awareness as a number 1 tip is by catching yourself, you can start to recognize where you might have blockages. And then what I want you to do is I want you to ask, is that true? And you started out, Omobola, saying, it's all about asking those questions to dig deep. That's what we do as coaches. We help people find the questions. We don't find the answers. We help find the good questions. So I would say, is that true? And if you don't know if it's true, figure it out. I don't know, I have enough money to last until the end of my retirement. That's an aging thing. It's a mindset. Is it true? Do you know? Do you even know? So I would encourage everybody, just nudge them to open up to that over the next week or 2 in the workplace, at home, with your family, with your friends, with yourself. How does age show up for you? And see what happens with that bias.
Awesome. Now we get to the work assignment. Ellen?
Yeah.
Dominique, what's your take?
Sorry, I didn't get you.
She said, what's your take on that? What would you add to that?
What's my take on that is, well, Ellen mentioned being conscious and being aware of bias and blockages or excuses. We're very pragmatic women. Once you're aware of what may be on your mind, is to actually take tiny steps towards a new version of yourself. And I would never reinforce enough the importance of tiny steps. Whatever takes you forward doesn't take you backwards. And when you're 50 plus, the notion of time that goes by every day, but the time that you may have left takes another perspective, takes another flavor. So any steps that you can take to make a progress forward, whether physically, but also your mind, the mind is not something that stays forever the same. It's like Ellen mentioned before, it's a muscle that changes all the time. And mindset can be changed through an accountability partner, through a coach, a mentor. The big question is, how long do you want to take to make that tiny steps? And working with somebody, whether it's an accountability partner, a buddy, a friend, or a coach, will take you to the destination much quicker. So my question to your audience would be, why wait when you can make it, quicker, easier, more fun, and move forward one step towards the true you that you were when you were a little kid, and still are, but it just came, like peeling the onions. We accumulated so many things during our life. I take the 50 plus as a gift for us to unpeel all the layers that we've put during our life and to find the young kid again, so that we can really make sure we have, any years left to go with the attitude of a kid, but the wisdom of being 50 plus. And that combination, I find that magic.
Awesome. Good to know once again. Thank you to you both, Dominique Ben-Dhaou and Ellen Kocher, for your incredible insight on today's show. Now focusing on the 50 plus, right? And how to get it right. Really had a wonderful time. I'd like you to tell me about projects you have in the pipeline. So who's going first?
I'd be happy to take this one. So we do a number of projects in the workplace, Omobola. We are usually part of the diversity, equity, and inclusion. We consult with leadership to actually go through a checklist to see how they're managing their 5-generation workplace and what they're actually doing for their 50 plus. It's never really been focused on before. And given the aging demographic today, it's absolutely necessary. Most companies are lacking the employees they need, and we don't have, the younger generations are not as large as the generations that are aging. Therefore, we don't have the people to take on those jobs. It's very important. We keep people at work, we keep skills, we upskill our workforce, and we continue to do that and give them options in what they need. So we work as consultants for organizations. Dominique and I also do a lot of keynotes. We've published our book, Wake Up, Shake Up, Thrive, How to Lift Up Your Life in Your 50s and Beyond. People can download the 2 free chapters of our book, the first 2 chapters, from our website, wakeupshakeupthrive.com. And it's quite exciting. We're very excited because Wake Up, Shake Up, Thrive was born in English last November, and the French version is going to be born in about a month. So we're super excited about the French version, which is up and coming. And otherwise, people can always reach out to us in the pipeline. We work with one-on-one clients, coaching, and we work as a team, because we found that, as we said very beginning of our conversation, we complete each other, and we believe in a holistic approach to well-being. We complement each other, and we feel that that's what our clients need. They don't have to go shopping around for all kinds of resources. What am I forgetting, Dominique?
That it's fun to work with us.
Really fun.
And it's really the right time because of the many changes that are happening in the world around us, whether it's demographic changes, whether it's post-COVID and the future of work and having the 5 generations working together, whether it's to feel great as a leader, as an executive in an organization, which will have an impact on your team if you feel great as a 40 plus or 50 plus or 60 plus. So it's really, all the ladder and all parts of an organization, from the individual to the whole of the organization, which of course has an impact on your clients, the way you work with them, the way you deal with them. And it's definitely part of a company positioning. So we believe that the checkup for organizations is a great way to benchmark yourself, to identify in a focused way where you could improve, but also what you've been doing well so far, and to communicate massively, but in a focused way, to your employees within the organization and outside to your clientele and to your candidates that you need to attract. So it really helps in terms of reputation, positioning of any company worldwide.
Awesome. Wish you best of luck in this project.
Dominique
and Helen.
Thank you.
Do you have any parting word you'd like to share with the audience?
There's only one thing I think we should share, Dominique, which is our tagline. So let's say it together. Let's say it together, because this is something we came up with when we first created Wake Up, Shake Up, Thrive. So let's say it, Dominique.
Yeah.
Ready?
Yes.
Don't grow old waiting. Don't grow old waiting. Whether you're a company, whether you're an individual, don't grow old waiting. Be ready to pivot and nudge to this next beautiful phase of life.
Awesome. I love the P line.
It's a great tagline, isn't it? Don't grow old
That's
waiting.
right. That's right. You like to share your social media handles on your website?
Yes, absolutely. wakeupshakeupthrive.com. And then on social media, you can find me, Ellen Kocher. We're very active on LinkedIn. We also have a blog on our website, and we publish very often on LinkedIn. This month, August, we've got a tip a day going for the whole month of August. There's Swiss tips. So it's really fun, including eating chocolate. So you guys will enjoy that.
Yeah.
That's good. That's flying on LinkedIn and Facebook. Again, on LinkedIn, it's through our individual accounts. So Ellen Kocher, Kocher, ELLEN is my first name. I think you'll have it in the show notes.
And yeah, and Dominique Ben-Dhaou. So Ben-Dhaou spells BENDHAOU. It's an African name. So for your African audience, that will be great. But yeah, we are very active on social media, whether LinkedIn, Instagram. We are very proud of our Instagram account. And we are very serious to share things that people can use right away and make a difference in their lives. So go and visit our website. And as Ellen mentioned before, downloads, it's free. Download the first 2 chapters of our book. And
there are a few quizzes on our
it.
website too. There are some good quizzes on our website too that people can actually go through and sort of do a self-assessment. So it's quite fun. Welcome to our world.
Thanks for introducing your world to us, Ellen and Dominique.
Thank you, Omobola.
Thank you,
Thank you for
Omobola.
the opportunity.
Thank you so much once again. It's really been a worthwhile time having the two of you share profound insight on today's topic of discussion. I can only wish you the best of luck in your project once again.
Thank you, Omobola.
Thank you.
All right. Now, if you'd like to catch up any missed episodes of Life Well Lived by Omobola Stephen, you can do so on any podcast cross-promotion platforms or distribution platforms to bump into online and do have an amazing time. Perhaps you'd like to be a guest on the show. You can mail me at omobolastephen.o@outlook.com. Now, I'll be looking forward to your mail. Come on, let's have a disruptive mindset conversations. They're going to pivot the change the world needs. Looking forward once again. Right, till I come your way, I need you to be good. Talk to you soon.